Welcome to Workplace Professionalism. This material is not intended to constitute any tax, investment, or legal advice. If you need investment, legal, tax advice, and/or credit counseling, please consult with a professional within those areas. So why are we discussing this topic? Companies are looking for candidates who are tactful, reliable, and those who can communicate and are pleasant to work with. It's not only one thing, it's a combination of qualities. So we're going to be talking about attendance, appearance, behavior, and communication in the next slides. Now, employers, they can expect both candidates and hired employees to demonstrate professionalism when interacting with others. So employees who have a high degree of professionalism are frequently perceived as being more credible and reliable than their co-workers. So what is professionalism? So professionalism in the working world is the way that you carry yourself, your attitude, and how you communicate with each other. Other things professionalism is giving a positive first impression, good relationships, and a good impression overall. There's really no excuse to be unprofessional. Always be courteous, dress appropriately, and act the part. Now we're going to talk about the importance of attendance. So of course, the first thing with attendance is dependability. Punctuality is not about being on time. It's basically about respecting your own commitment. So you want to be dependable. Even if your absences don't impact other jobs, your professional reputation could suffer if your work record shows excessive absences. So we're not saying that you can't take time off, but be mindful of your absences. And it's important to be on time. So being fashionably late may be good at a party, but not at your place of work. So try to be a few minutes early. So make time for yourself to get set up for the day. Be consistent. So show up when you're scheduled to work. Tardiness or persistent absence can create or impact employee morale. Be ready to work. So when it's time for you to be there, be ready. Take care of your personal business before you walk through the door or starting your workday. Of course, we can't always prepare for everything. Sometimes emergencies happen, and this is going to take us to the next slide. So of course, things do happen, right? Life happens, emergencies happen, but how you handle it is what makes a difference. So handle it like a professional. You can be professional by notifying your manager as soon as possible. What happened? Did you get caught in traffic because of an accident? Or if you're sick, you want to communicate as soon as you can. Be sure you have made contact with your employer, whether it's sending an email, a phone call, or leaving a message. Make sure someone knows, or call back later to be sure that they know that you're going to be out. Provide any details about anything that has to be done. So if you have something that has a deadline today and you're going to be out of the office, make sure you let your manager know and check and see if the deadline can be extended or if someone else needs to complete that task. Arrange a backup if needed, or if that's even possible. If you're going to be out, some employers want you to see if someone else can come in for you and work your shift, or maybe complete that particular task that you were working on for you because it needed to be done at that time. Make sure you know the rules for your employer that you have to follow if you're going to be absent and what is required of you to do of your work during that time. Now, the next thing is appearance. Feeling confident about your appearance will help your self-confidence and attitude. So dress for the job you want, not the job that you're in. Now, dress appropriately. When in doubt, check what your company's dress code is. Do that research. Make sure you know what the whole dress code is. Now, when you're interviewing, you want to dress to impress. This may include dress slacks, skirts, dresses, and nice shirts and ties. Also, don't forget to look at your nails and teeth. Make sure those are prepped as well. Does your employer allow piercings or tattoos? If not, then you might have to remove or cover them up even in an interview if you want the job. Following the dress code. If you work in certain types of jobs, you may be required to wear a uniform or a specific color, or you might have to have some type of specific shoes. So if you're working in the restaurant industry, then you might have to have non-slip shoes, or certain construction jobs, you might need steel toe boots. So all depending on what the job is. So you may be working at a place where maybe you're not allowed to wear jewelry, or you may not be allowed to have any accessories on. So just be mindful of what that dress code is. If you can wear jeans, it might be the policy that the jeans can't have holes or distressing or any cutouts or anything like that. So you want to be mindful and be appropriate. You also want to err on the side of being more conservative. If you are questioning your choice, that may be your answer of not to wear that item. So if you keep thinking, I don't know if this is approved or not approved, probably best not even to take that chance. Uniform should be neat and clean. So if you have to wear a uniform and it's all wrinkled, you might want to try steaming or ironing it before you go for an interview or before you go to work. So make sure there's no stains, dirt, or food on them. Your hair should be neat and clean. So depending on the industry that you're in, you might have to wear your hair up, or you might have to wear your hair in a hairnet, or different ways that way. So you want to make sure that you're following whatever that policy is. Your job may also have color restrictions too. It might be a more natural color, or they may not allow you to have outside colors that don't represent a natural look. Now with facial hair, they normally have guidelines as well. So in the past, facial hair wasn't widely accepted always in the workplace or for job interviews, but now that has changed. And as long as the facial hair is neat and clean. Now there's not any laws pertaining to facial hair specifically. So really the facial hair policies are at the discretion of your company. So if you fall in this category, you want to make sure what the requirement is. A lot of days, even now, some jobs are all remote, or job interviews are also virtual. So you want to make sure, even if it is a virtual job interview, that you are still appearing in a neat and orderly way. So if you're working virtually, you should still be dressed appropriately. If you are on camera, make sure you're dressed accordingly. You want to make sure that you are still at work. So if you have a meeting, you want to come dressed just like you were to be in person, even if you are in a virtual environment. Now, behavior. How does your behavior play in workplace professionalism? The attitude that you bring says a lot about you, and it will benefit you and your employer. You want to try to adopt a glass half full attitude in the company and encourage employees to do the same. Hopefully that will bring a positive attitude towards coworkers and the customers. Remember not to take it out on your boss or your coworkers, and especially your customers. If work is a thing that's causing you to have a bad mood, then it might be a time to think about maybe getting a new job, or maybe it's a different team or a different position in your employer that you might want to look at. That may help you out and not be as stressed on the job as well. Remember to be kind. It's easier said than sometimes done, but we all want to be treated the way that you want to treat others, the way that you want to be treated. Always respect yourself and others. Focus on the positive. Surround yourself with a positive attitude, because negative attitudes can promote fear. So surround yourself with positive people. You don't want to be known as the complainer. You can choose your friends, but you can't pick your coworkers. So if you have negative coworkers, be careful not to fall in their negativity, and always try to be positive about the environment. You don't want to take anything personally. So if something happens, then you want to take a breath and take time out to evaluate the situation before you react. Keep your dirty laundry at home. You don't want this type of negativity to affect your employees and or customers. So don't want to be gossiping around the workplace. It's important to keep that helpful attitude at work, whether that means assisting clients and customers with their needs or helping coworkers accomplish an overall company goal. Now, you want to embrace a growth mindset. And you might ask, what is a growth mindset? So individuals who believe their tasks can be developed through hard work, good strategies, and input from others have a growth mindset. So when a student, you believe that you can get smarter, then you'll understand that the effort that you put in does make you stronger. So here's the growth mindset overall. M is I can learn from my mistakes. So use those failures and mistakes as a valuable learning tool. The I can improve by working hard. So at that point, you can break up big tasks into small tasks. The N, I will never give up. So create learning opportunities like a new skill or collaborating with others. D, I am determined to do my best. So you want to stay focused on the task at hand. S is self-reflection will help me succeed. Positive thinking, self-awareness is important. E, I can overcome challenges with effort. So make a plan, ask for help, accept that support, and think big and outside the box. T is I can train my brain. Remember that you are capable of learning anything. It's critical to reward not just effort, but learning and progressing along the way. There's a book that's called Growth Mindset by Kara DeWeck, and that's one about student attitudes and failures. That's a great resource in learning about this topic. Stay solution focused. So in the end, the blame game has no winners. If you make a mistake, be accountable, take action on that. Own those mistakes and learn from them. So you acknowledge that mistake, you get feedback, and make a plan and move forward with what you have learned. When a problem arises, focus on finding the solution. So that's problem solving. Define the problem, determine the cause, and find solutions to overcome them. Think positive. Because if you think positive, that can boost productivity, reduce stress, and improves focus. Think about what's working. So what's working in the particular environment or on a project, and capitalize on that. Continue to see how else other things can work that same way. Think about what can be done better. So monitor the progress and make adjustments as needed. Think about what opportunities exist and how you can grow with those opportunities along the way. Time management. So with time management, completing your responsibilities thoroughly and on schedule is an important part of maintaining your professionalism. It's important that you develop methods of managing your time effectively to produce high quality work and meet all important deadlines. So you want to set those goals, prioritize them, and set a time limit. Make sure that you're taking breaks. That way you can stay focused. If you work too long on a certain task, you might get a clouded brain and not be open to new ideas that you might have. If you stay organized, that will help you stay on track. That way you don't have distractions. Plan ahead so that way you can have those goals and know what you need to work on next. That will definitely help you stay on track and be able to complete projects on time and manage everything accordingly. Organization really helps with that along the way. Next, we go into communication, and respectful communication is vital to a healthy work environment. So be respectful. Put the phone down and turn down the ringer, especially if you're in meetings or talking with other people. You want to make sure that you honor generational differences, and you can use different types of ways to communicate, but you want to be willing to teach and be taught, not take things personally. Wait for cues. Wait your turn to talk and look for those nonverbal cues so you're not talking over people. So you're taking turns speaking with other people and waiting until they're done. And you always want to respond in a respectful and positive manner. Remember that body language comes through most of the time, whether you intend to reveal it or not. So be mindful about it and be mindful when you're reading those body language clues that it's important to know that there could be cultural differences between people when it comes to their body language. Some cues or some body language might be crossing hands, feet, or looking at the person. Those are all different nonverbal communication cues as well. So speak only about things that are true, so that way you're not spreading rumors, and think before you react and take that minute before you react to a certain situation. Now, when we go to seek guidance and feedback, Workplace professionalism is communicating effectively and appropriately and always finding a way to be productive. So in this case, you want to seek guidance from supervisors and more experienced coworkers. So asking for feedback is important, and it shows to others that you're willing to improve your skills. Shows you have dedication and a drive to succeed. So be open to that constructive criticism. Stay calm, be a good listener, ask questions about the feedback, and share your perspective as well. You'll also want to share your thoughts and ideas with your supervisor, so that way you can get their feedback as well. Now, of course, conflicts happen in the workplace. So you want to be respectful, listen attentively, and listen to others' viewpoints. You want to use active listening. So you're looking at the person in the eye and nodding while they're speaking to be respectful. Address your concerns directly with the person and focus on the behavior or the event that happened. Identify a point of agreement and disagreement and developing a plan to work on that conflict. So at that point, you might have to agree to disagree, but understanding each other's viewpoint is important. You might even have to ask for guidance for help if you need that in order to be a situation that both parties will be able to understand each other. So you might have to ask your supervisor or address the issue with your supervisor and get some solutions that can help you manage the conflict. But in the end, be flexible and adaptable because change is inevitable in the workplace. Thank you for joining our presentation on workplace professionalism.